I want to be a doctor so I can help the underprivileged. Dr. Lai Augustinus Dharmawan founded the first private floating hospital in Indonesia, even in the world. He was born on April 16, 1946, in Padang, Indonesia, with the name Lai Tek B. Dr. Lai Augustinus Dharmawan, Ph.D., SPB, SPBTKV is a well-known surgery specialist. He is a surgeon who specializes in general surgery, cardiac surgery, thoracic surgery, and vascular surgery. The idea to establish a floating hospital first appeared when Dr. Lai gave medical services on K Island, Southeast Maluku. While doing a surgical procedure on a patient, a mother arrived suddenly with her 9-year-old daughter who had a constricted colon, he explained. He performed an operation on the girl, although there were doubts in his mind about the possibility of success of the operation. The reason for this is that the mother and kid must travel across the ocean for 3 days and 2 nights to reach the free medical center established by doctorSHARE. And based on medical theory, a person with a pinched bowel condition should have surgery within 6 to 8 hours. However, after the operation, the girl finally recovered. It is conceptually difficult to realize. This is where I am called to commit my entire life to aiding individuals who require medical help, he stated. The following issues confront Indonesians living in rural and remote places. Primary healthcare services are weak. Secondary specialized care is almost non-existent. Roads, transportation, and basic health services are all poorly distributed. Despite the fact that the infrastructure is in place, many primary healthcare clinics lack doctors. A portable hospital by water is one of the alternatives for helping people in these distant places. Dr. Lai's plan to create a floating hospital aboard this ship was derided by those around him due to the high cost of such a project. Dr. Lai, on the other hand, was not deterred from realizing his goal. Instead, he was willing to sell his house in order to purchase a Finny sea ship, which was used to deliver cement and would later be converted into a floating hospital. Over the last 3 years, the 23.5-meter long and 6.5-meter wide ship has been transformed into a floating hospital, with medical facilities comparable to a Type D landed hospital. Dr. Lai was then resolved to establish a floating hospital on a ship that could provide medical services in difficult-to-reach places. In 2018, the floating hospital visited 8 remote places in Indonesia, including the southwest province of Maluku, southeast Sulawesi, and West Nusa Tenggara, NTB, which aims to provide free health services for people living in remote areas of Indonesia. This RSA cruise travels the farthest to Papua New Guinea. The doctorSHARE team, which was also created by Dr. Lai's, uses this fleet to give free basic and advanced medical services such as basic health education and training to local populations that live in rural and isolated areas with limited access to healthcare, general checkups, maternity, dental checkups, and minor and major operations. Dr. Lai Dharmawan has served 13,368 outpatients and pregnancy consultations, 643 small operations, and up to 385 major surgeries during his 10 years on RSA. Dr. Lai Dharmawan Floating Hospital and the Doctors Care Foundations is one of the most comprehensive medical vessels, with ECG, ultrasound, laboratory, operating rooms, resuscitation rooms, patient examination rooms, and morgues. On K Island, there's also a clinic, because they discovered many malnourished youngsters. They began providing services by bringing in a nutritional nursing care. After more than 10 years serving many people in various parts of the country, the first private floating hospital in Indonesia finally sank in the waters of Bima. NTB on Wednesday, 16/6/2021. According to Dr. Lai, the crew spotted sparks from one of the engine rooms while in the middle of the sea, which they thought were caused by a short circuit. The crew attempted to put out the fire, but it spread too quickly to be controlled. The floating hospital, which has served thousands of people, particularly in Indonesia's heartland, caught fire and sunk in a short time. There were no injuries or deaths as a result of this incident. However, the efforts of Dr. Lai and doctorSHARE, or the doctorSHARE Foundation, to deliver health services have been impeded. Dr. Lai's floating hospital has now expanded to 3 ships. The RSA Dr. Lai Dharmawan, RSA Nusa Waluya 1, and RSA Nusa Waluya 2, which provide flying doctor services or flying doctors that provide healthcare for people in locations that can only be reached by air or on foot. Nevertheless, Dr. Lai emphasized that the spirit of reaching out to the country's most remote corners will never die.